All right, just gonna share this real quick. Not gonna keep you long. I know every time preachers say that they lying, but hopefully I mean it this time. It's an important day, very special day. My wife and I, we were together this morning talking and praying. And I tell you what the importance of the day, but let me share this story with you. I was on my way to go see somebody earlier today, and I was sitting at the intersection. For those of y'all who live in Tampa, New Tampa, you know what I'm talking about. I was sitting at the intersection of Cross Creek and Bruce B. Downs. And I was the first car about to turn left on the Bruce B. Downs to get on 75 South. But as I was sitting there, across the intersection on the other side, which is, I forgot what the name of that road is called, but on the other side, I saw a squirrel jump out of a tree. And when the squirrel jumped out the tree, it darted across the road. And I'm sitting there watching in amazement, like, man, is this squirrel gonna make it? Because it was traffic going both directions. There's 2 lanes on one side, a turning lane, and then 2 lanes on the other side. And this squirrel jumped down the tree and darted across the road. And I was getting heart palpitations watching the squirrel run across the road. And the squirrel actually made it across the road in traffic. I was floored. And I'm thinking, like, in the mind of that squirrel, I don't know what squirrel's thinking now, but I bet it ran with all its might. And then when I was getting to the place where I was going to, saw a similar situation, and the squirrel was kind of going back and forth, and unfortunately, it was dead. It got hit, and it didn't make it. Didn't make it. And the reason I'm saying all that is because today marks on April 2nd in 2000. Jennifer and I, we were baptized together. We got baptized together, and so this time of year is always kind of special. But Jennifer and I were baptized together, and when I saw that squirrel running across the street with everything it had, this is gonna sound corny, cheesy, whatever you want to say, man, that's how I want to run for God. And I remember 22 years ago when her and I were baptized at Zion Baptist Church in Owensboro, Kentucky, and Reverend Lewis, Pastor Lewis, baptized us, and just the sense of having a new lease on life and renewal, and just this concept of this God that he wants to be with me, that he loves me, and as I started to learn more about the Bible and read and just understand, I said, man, if God is who he says he is, and he can do what he says he can do, man, I want to chase after him with everything that I have in me. And it doesn't mean, 22 years, I done messed up a few times. I done fell short a couple times. You ask her, I didn't have my issues, challenges, need to say. But man, I honestly tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything. These last 22 years with God have been nothing short of amazing. And, so these last 22 years, I just say, anybody, man, just give it all you got. Run with it. In my head, I saw that squirrel darting across like his life depended on it. And he ran, and he made it across 2 lanes, a turn lane, and 2 more lanes, and hopped on the other side and jumped at the curb and hopped up the other tree. Now, after that, I don't know what happened, but all I know is that I'm grateful that these last 22 years, her and I, we've got to walk this thing out together. And I'm looking forward to what God has in store, and just the blessing of walking with him, seeing him move and work every day. 22 years, man, it's cool. So like that squirrel, and not just a squirrel, I think it was Far Side. Was it Far Side? No, it was Black Eyed Peas said, I'm just gonna keep running. But yeah, so I just want to share that with y'all. When I saw the squirrel, it made me think about my salvation and just how you don't want to be indecisive. You just want to go with what the Lord tells you to go with and leave the consequences up to him. So y'all be blessed. You have a good one. And I ain't talking about nothing. Bye.